says Love Tuner. Can't really see it. I bought this, I don't even know how fucking long ago. It's sitting over here in my little cup holder of shit I barely ever look at or touch. But I just wanted to throw it in there for the intro. Maybe it'll help you fucking attune or tune into some more love in your life. Fucking, I'm gonna start using it again. But, yeah. I'm Elias. Welcome to Rise Alignment, where we fucking live, grow, and concress to stay blessed and evolve as people. Men, specifically. I guess if you're a lady watching this, like, I'm not gonna discriminate against you, but this specific video you might fucking feel a little discriminated against, because we're gonna react to a video that went fairly viral, I guess, because I've never had a video go so hard in the paint, get 1 million views. Why Do Philosophers Hate Women, I think is what it's called. Yeah, Why Do Philosophers Hate Women by Rambo? Is that Rambo, but with an OH. Fucking just some random Asian dude who fucking, I don't even know. I don't need to fucking... Oh, this is actually what I forgot to do. I was going to ask ChatGPT for a hook. Yo, ChatGPT, what's a good hook for this reaction video to Why Do Philosophers Hate Women?
Alright, so you want something that grabs attention but doesn't feel inflammatory or off-putting, right? How about something like, we're diving into this age-old controversy, but are philosophers really the bad guys, or is there more to unpack here? It invites curiosity without being combative.
Yeah, dude, let's go with that.
What's up? Do you want to be a philosophy major? Are you considering it? Let's have a chat. I am one at UCLA.
What if I told you that all of our favorite philosophers are men, and all of them are extremely sexist?
Women are not made of the higher sciences. They may be educated, but they cannot reach the depths of philosophy.
And this is all of your favorite philosophers. Even the recent ones that are female are equally just as sexist.
Do you believe that there is going to be a day where there's going to be a female in the White House as president? And how do you feel about that?
I wouldn't vote for her.
You would or wouldn't?
Would not.
You would not.
No.
But what does this mean? Because this is never mentioned in your philosophy course's favorite YouTubers, the professionals that study this. Because deep down, they agree. But why? Does this mean the philosophers are still correct, or have times changed?
Hello, those are my teeth marks. The human being is spirit, but what is spirit? Spirit is a self, but what is a self? The self is a relation which relates to itself, or that in the relation which is its relating to itself. The self is not the relation, but the relation is relating to itself. A human being is a synthesis of the infinite and of the finite, of the temporal and the eternal.
Did you guys understand that? Well,
Yeah, that was a whole lot of a goose egg, like, circular saying that's said nothing. That's kind of, I want to say that's hashtag not all, but that's kind of women in a nutshell, that they don't have the, not to say they don't have the capacity, but the post-nut clarity, I guess if I could say it that way, the way that, like, men have the ability to, like, shut their mind off and just, like, allow spirit or energy to move through them. Like, obviously women are the beings that birth children, so they also have the capacity to move energy through them, but it's just not the same. That I just look at her fucking face, bro. Like, she's just got the fucking crazy eyes that you're like, are you gonna fucking burn my house down if I break up with you, lady? Like, you might be, because again, maybe I'll even throw it on the screen here as I'm talking about it, but, like, the law of averages, or, like, on average women are more intelligent than men, but on the male bell curve is wider, so there's more dumbasses to whatever side is the side that has the low IQ, and then there's more geniuses and high IQ fucking wizards and crazy what's the word, fucking not autodactytes, because that is a funny, cool word to explain how intelligent people want to, like, or self-directed people learn on their own. But genius, shit, I can't even think of the word right now. Autists, maybe, you know, just like people who are, like, super intelligent, but kind of because they're so intelligent don't fucking want to conform to normal societal standards. Damn, I think this motherfucker's charging his phone over here, you bastard. Oh, whatever. Hopefully you guys can't hear this dude's car just fucking idling next to me. But the struggles of living in a fucking RV, whatever.
oh, the point was, you were not supposed to, because there was nothing of substance performatism in today's world in terms of how intelligent I am, because I can speak in a way so eloquently you cannot understand. But quite simply, that is just a sign of memorization and lack of ability to communicate.
This is why there are a lot of people who are really smart. They use a lot of jargon, and you can't quite follow their reasoning. You don't know how they're putting things together, and you have this deep down suspicion they don't even really understand. So if you look at the most powerful thinkers, especially the ones where money or life is on the line, they have to understand the basics really, really well. Richard Feynman, the famous physicist, he had this piece in one of his lectures where he takes you from counting numbers on your hand all the way to calculus in 4 pages, and it's a complete unbroken logical chain that takes you through pre-calculus, analytic geometry, graphs, everything, all the way to calculus. He understood numbers at a core level. He didn't have to memorize anything. When you're memorizing, it's an indication that you don't understand. You should be able to rederive anything on the spot, and if you can't, you don't know it.
Warning, this video is not meant to hate women. I love women, specifically Latinas, but truthfully, women cannot shut the fuck up about how they live longer, how they're more mature, more intelligent than men, which, by the way, is actually factually correct.
Women are literally smarter than men because toxic masculinity holds men back from becoming emotionally mature.
I think one issue with modern dating that I haven't seen a lot of women talk about is the number of women who are disproportionately more educated than men. Between the ages of 25 and 34, women outnumber men in bachelor's degrees by 10%.
But you see in the real world how men dominate every single field.
Yeah, see, that was what I had just said, but women are just not great at communicating it because there is that level of like superiority. I'm better than you, stupid dude. Like, do what I say, because the doting idiot father of the meme and fucking commercials, if I throw one on screen of what I'm talking about.
You don't understand. I have an MBA.
Oh, you have an MBA? In that case, I'll have to show you how to do it.
Of what I'm talking about, though, like, there's this conflation between education and intelligence, that emotional intelligence is somehow fucking, it is important, and it is a thing to be able to like use the mirror neurons in your brain to like look at another human being and be like, oh, you're going through a tough time, like I can see it in your face, I can see it you look a little ragged, worse for wear, my brother, what the fuck's going on? Like, that's social grace, intelligence, just situational awareness of like, oh, this girl's looking at me like she give me the fuck me eyes, like I better fucking put out right now, because if I don't, she's gonna be like, why did I try so hard for this guy that's fucking being wishy-washy, fucking fickle fuck, what the hell? But the conflation between higher education of like achieving, being able to jump through the hoops of like, oh look, I got a fucking bachelor's degree or a master's degree or a PhD, like that doesn't equate to fucking like, in my mind, doesn't equate to like intelligence. That just equates to being able to like put up with the bullshit of the fucking system and go about the world in a way that, like, because women are generally, hashtag not all, followers, and the system, education specifically, is built for you to sit down, shut up, pay attention to the person in front of you, and like not be too disruptive or like push back and give flack of like asking the authority figure, the teacher in this case, like, is that really true? Are you sure? What the fuck's actually going on, buddy? What the hell? And it's not. That's just, women are more agreeable. If I was gonna use the Jordan Peterson terminology, it's just the way that they are biologically wired. Because you want your mom to be agreeable and like give a fuck about your needs as a baby. But like, if you're trying to if you're trying to not argue but negotiate with a tribe that's trying to conquer you, or like the neighboring tribe for like a good trade that benefits both parties, like, you don't want to be an agreeable, like, will be amenable and bend to your will of whatever you want, dude. Like, no, we gotta like be a little bit of a dick, stand up for ourselves and be like, no, this is the boundary, don't cross our shit. Here's what we can offer you. This is what I want from you. This is what we can offer you. Do you want that? And then, like, if they say no, then hopefully you can go about your amicably peaceful disagreement. That's always the thing that, like, and then, yeah, men being the fucking things of, like, we dominate sports, the physical realm, the more testosterone, better upper body strength, or what have you, in general. obviously there's you always it's always the people that want to be like this one lady is way stronger than you, dude. You're only 5'7". Like, what are you talking about? She's like 6'9" and fucking yoked 280. Like, she can bench press or squat more than you. And like black women, they have the strongest PSI of squeezing your legs together out of any group of people on the planet. So they're really good at jiu-jitsu, or they would be if they did it more often. And everyone should learn jiu-jitsu, in my opinion. Good leveling of the playing field, and guns and force multipliers leveling the playing field. But if it's just a straight up boxing match, like, I'm pretty sure that like most men, if you've both trained for 6 months a boxing thing, that most men are going to beat most women in hand-to-hand combat. Just a thing that I feel very strongly, confidently about. If you disagree, like, I guess fight me, bro. Like, I don't know what else to say about it other than that. Like, it's fucking, that's just the reality of the world we live in, dog. Like, don't be mad at the messenger. I mean, you can be, but don't kill me.
All the wisest people dead and now only preferring men. 100 million AI contracts with the G, how, who, you. Why is there not more women? Where's my diversity?
In a short synthesis, a synthesis is a relation between two terms. Looked at in this way, the human being is not yet a self. Soren Kierkegaard, The Sickness Unto Death. This book is very well loved and hated.
Banana Butthole III clenched his cheeks awaiting the tip of a real man. Is anything she is saying making any actual sense? Obviously not. And again, that is not the point. It's just to pretend that you are intelligent. And I don't want to slam dunk on this girl, but the theme of the video is that philosophers never respected women, especially when it came to philosophy and advanced sciences.
When the laws gave women equal rights with man, they ought to have also endowed her with a masculine intellect.
So the question is, were they correct? Because we're now in the future where women are the most educated in terms of college. They are the ones that are the most enrolled. Men are actually becoming less educated. But statistically, men have a higher ceiling for IQ. Equally, men also have the lowest ceiling for IQ. And you can see this explained in a lot of statistics where men live the most diverse lives, as in they're the richest and equally they are the most poor. You can see this pattern occur in everything. And to preface, this is very important to know, but all of these studies of men having larger variabilities in terms of IQ is also extremely old. This is where the argument comes up that, well, maybe it's because men had an education and women didn't, so it skewed the statistics. But remember, statistically, IQ is heritable, as in it is biological, as in it is something you were born with. That is why men are taller, that is why men are stronger, and it also equates to why they can be dumber and smarter. Also, I lied. There are a bunch of new studies, 2024, 2025, that proves the exact point of IQ variability, meaning the philosopher saying women cannot reach the depths of advanced sciences is actually correct.
Just one minor point I wanted to throw in right here, that it was like, technically, I don't have the stats, but I'm pretty sure that if you went back in time, that women were actually always more educated than men, because men would go off and die and get killed in wars and conflicts all the time, and women would stay back and be able to gather information and educate each other and themselves about the world within their relative spheres that they're actually interested in, which is hopefully speaking to the point that he's making, that like the higher sciences, the depth of philosophy and truth, and like understanding how creation created itself, and like the meaning, creating meaning and suffering and doing the heroic hero's journey stuff, is just not something that women want to do or like to do. Like, they go through their version of it, of like childhood, motherhood, whatever comes after the kids leave the nest, and then becoming the crone and the wise woman to then teach the next generation of ladies or what have you. But like, there isn't the fucking like call to the wild or call to the adventure equivalently, I don't think, for women. And then this whole third wave, fourth wave feminism of just indoctrinating women to think that they're men and act like men and sleep around like men, and just all of the caveats and buffet tables of like picking and choosing the best aspects of masculinity, or what they consider to be the best aspects of masculinity, without ever actually realizing that they're just being programmed and brainwashed to be little corporate cog slaves for their fucking daddy government or daddy fucking CEO. Like, it's a wild time to be alive.
Brandon, would you be down to kiss?
Yeah, I'll be down. Come here.
Sorry, that was the wrong clip, but here is Ayn Rand, a female philosopher.
Other than Jesus, no other figure has influenced more Americans than this woman right here, Ayn Rand. And I'm not kidding, there was literally a Library of Congress study that showed exactly that. Maybe that's a win for feminism? I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure you assume that Ayn Rand is this sort of like conservative American philosopher, but she wasn't. She was really a Russian playwright who was obsessed with a Hollywood who would not accept her. And right today, there are senators named after her, like my good friend right here, Rand Paul. But the most bizarre legacy of her influence, and this is something you probably won't hear most places, is her devout following in Hollywood. For instance, shortly before dying, Farrah Fawcett called Ayn Rand a literary genius. Angelina Jolie called her philosophy very, very interesting. Rob Lowe here said that her novel Atlas Shrugged is a stupendous achievement and that he just adores it. And this one killed me a little bit, but Eva Mendes said that anybody she dates has to be a fan of Ayn Rand.
So we're going to get into her beliefs and ideologies, but before we even do that, you can tell by the comments, a lot of people don't like her.
Ayn Rand sucks. You shouldn't respect her. Let me tell you why. I wouldn't read this book again if I was stranded on a desert island for the rest of my life, and this was my only reading material.
Ayn Rand seemed profound when I was in the 8th grade, but as I got older, she seemed childish.
And why is that? She's like one of the most popular female philosophers, and they hate her. I will say though, it's a little ironic that there isn't a lot of female philosophers, and the philosophers that do hate women, which is all of them, also nobody likes the one that is the only one that's very popular. What does that say? What does that say? You guys actually think about that. But here's the truth. She's really good.
I feel like he's being a little bit hyperbolic with saying hating so much. I don't feel like if you're like a well-balanced human being that you hate the entire opposite sex is just unrealistic or ridiculous. But I just think there's a level of like autistic honesty or artistic authenticity required when dealing with women that, because of polite society brainwashing, is just kind of like gone out the window, and that like the blue pill, however you want to say it, of just this Disney fairy tale version of how women are perceived or portrayed in media or talked about generally is antithetical to philosophical or honest in like intellectual inquiry. So maybe I guess that's kind of what like hating is just so strong. Like I don't hate women. For me at least, the masculine duty of like protecting the people I care about within my inner circle of people, it would obviously include my eventual future wife and children, and who I am planning on having a daughter, hopefully, God willing. But hating is just like so fucking like strong. Like you don't hate women. They don't hate women. They just are being autistically or brutally honest about what they're generally or en masse the nature of them. And yeah, that kind of ruffles feathers because people want the world to be this nice Disney fairy tale thing, like I was just saying, but it's just, that's not. Reality is messy, traumatizing, and brutal, but it's real at the end of the day. And you trying to do a satanic inversion or like manipulate and control and bend reality to your will to try to, even if everyone agrees on a fucking big lie, that doesn't actually make it the truth at the end of the day. So like, don't be a fucking Nazi. Don't be a fucking Nazi, because that's what they did. Big lie, repeat it big enough, often enough. Either fucking, not Hegel, because that's a philosopher. Goebbels, maybe. I think Goebbels was the propaganda minister for Hitler, or Hitler said it. One of those two fucking jamokes, jerk-offs, schleps, schlubs, whatever.
Ayn Rand is a writer and philosopher. Her philosophy is most dramatically expressed through the heroic characters in her 4 novels, of which The Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged are the most famous.
Miss Rand, you have said that your primary purpose in writing is to project the ideal man. For those who may not have read Atlas Shrugged and have not yet met Hank Rearden or John Galt, how would you describe the ideal man?
Ayn Rand and her main philosophy is something called objectivism. The core idea is that reality exists independently of anyone's feelings or wishes. I could tell that the girl from the TikTok is someone who takes a lot of pride in being better than men, more intelligent, and
I think this gap in education becomes very apparent in dating because you don't really want to text somebody who's constantly speaking with grammatical errors, who can't keep up with you intellectually, who's not good at like communicating their thoughts and like putting them into words and really concisely, effectively communicating them to you.
guess what? Again, statistically, that is true. But people also forget that men are objectively, statistically, better. And that sounds very rage-baity, provocative, but that's entirely the point of Ayn Rand, which is why so many people hate her. It's because she is an OG rage-baiter, which people forget that a lot of philosophers at the time, no one liked whatsoever. They would kill all the Greek philosophers because they did so much change. It's the same idea. Every philosopher is hated when they are alive, but after they die, they are revered, they are loved. Friedrich Nietzsche died irrelevant, so, hated, forgotten, not cared about. Ayn Rand is exactly the same.
What Rand offers is an inversion of the golden rule. Instead of love your neighbor as yourself, Rand instructs us to cut the middleman and just love yourself instead. To Rand, altruism is evil, and selfishness should be rewarded.
The problem with philosophy content is that a bunch of them believe they are more intelligent than they actually are. What people don't understand about the biblical quote is, love thy neighbor as thyself. Thyself is the measuring stick, not an afterthought. It assumes there's already a baseline of care, dignity, and mercy you give yourself because, think about it, how can you love someone more if you can't even love yourself first? That's what Ayn Rand is talking about, because you need to be selfish for yourself if you actually want to contribute for society.
Abased.
How could you provide to the world if you're a homeless man trying to constantly help everyone else? You have no resources, you have no leverage, and it's quite simple to understand, but people get caught up in this game of I'm intelligent. I use the word altruism.
For many people, religion is a way of explaining the mysteries of life, the unknown things. Do you recognize no mysteries?
I don't believe that lack of knowledge is a license to start inventing fantasies.
And because everyone hates on the female philosopher that is purposefully being antagonistic, being very controversial, it's easy to feel smart and take the free win. But I think people need to understand her philosophy has existed forever. Rarely will a new thought ever be generated. You can't fill a cup or something from an empty cup. You get the idea, right? You need to help yourself first. You need to love yourself first before you can help other people. And the main idea with Ayn Rand is that you don't want to be someone who feels obligated to help other people because of societal pressure. You need to do it for your own self, for your own reason, which is to be selfish.
Donated as a year of clean water for someone in need, and we're trying to raise money to get people clean water all around the world. It's a big thing. People die from it, and we're just curious. Your friends here were saying you're a very generous soul.
Are you really gonna do this shit? I fucking did the McDonald's drive-thru, and it's gonna happen to me.
If you guys don't get it,
Bro, I'm hanging up the phone on the spot if somebody try to guilt trip me into fucking supporting their fucking charity on a live stream, dude. I'm hanging up the phone on the spot. I do not care about all of the peons that are gonna fucking blow up my fucking DMs or whatever the fuck, being under notifications, being like, well, bro, you don't care about the fucking people starving or dying of dysentery and don't have clean water. It's like I do, but like, fucking, am I gonna trust that Mr. Beast is doing it for an altruistic reason when he's obviously just doing it to make a fucking video and profit off of the video? Like, I guess, yeah, at the end of the day, that people are benefiting or that you're solving some of the world's problems, but like, bro, you just fucking talk to me as if I'm a human being without a fucking camera live stream going. Like, don't guilt trip me about it. Just ask me, like, face to face or like in person. Like, don't it's just really weird and underhanded the way that fucking Mr. Beast acts sometimes, or just like is this fucking like corporate fucking implant into the fucking the YouTube environment or whatever the fuck it is. I mean, he probably didn't start that way, but I'm sure as he became a billionaire or a millionaire, however rich he is now, that he definitely got corrupted by the system of money and power and control, as everyone generally does when if they don't have the spiritual fortitude, warrior ethos prior to making it, quote unquote. Like, it just fucking, because I also think there's got to be gatekeepers at every echelon or level that you reach a certain threshold, and there's just no way for you to make more money because you're not in the fucking clubs of Satanists who are fucking manipulating everybody through fucking media or government or religion and all these weird fucking secret societies, Rosicrucians, Freemasonry, the Vatican, all this, or what's Jesuits, the thought policing weirdos, control freaks that are ruining the world and starting wars and fucking whatever the fuck's going on. Zionists, all these weirdo groups that are seemingly disparate and disconnected, but they get behind closed doors, and just like politics or WWE, they're only pretending to hate each other, and then once they get to Bohemian Grove or the Trilateral Commission or the fucking World Economic Forum or the Bilderberg groups and all these places that they link up every so often to check in with one another, or the fucking satanic holiday that's in the middle of May or April in the spring. They just fucking are like, oh yeah, these are the agendas. I hope everyone's doing all right, and then we're still fucking bound together by our code of fucking secrecy and blackmail and all the weird, evil, crazy shit that they do on islands in the middle of the fucking Caribbean or in Michigan. Like, it's messed up, man. It's a messed up world, I'm telling you.
Mr. Beast is guilt-tripping a lot of celebrities doing on a live stream to donate money for his charity. But the problem is, they don't want to donate the money. They're being forced to via obligation and social pressure into doing it. This is important to know because moral debt is a real thing. There are studies, even a Vsauce experimental video.
What we learn from moral psychology experiments doesn't always make humans look good. For example, today we're going to look at moral licensing. The theory that when you do something good, you subconsciously feel you've earned a license to then do something bad.
Surprise, surprise, it is not a theory, and that is why it is so important to love yourself first and not live under obligations doing things other people want you to do rather than you yourself wanting it to do. Because if you're forced to do something good like donating money to a charity you don't give a fuck about, then maybe you will justify doing that good for the sake of doing something bad. AKA Ayn Rand is correct. Selfishness should be rewarded because it benefits society overall. Thank you for my TED Talk. Like, subscribe.
If a man's ever rude to you, just be an inconvenience.
Women remain.
Don't do that. Don't weaponize learned helplessness to try to fucking make yourself seem like the fucking damsel in distress, because you're manipulating people, creating the whole white knight paradox phenomenon of like you say one thing but actually act in a completely different way. Of like, you say you want the good guy who gives you the flowers and treats you all nice and kindly, and then you chase Chad or Tyrone who fucking treat you like shit and blows your back out for sure. But like, genetically, it's got to be a fucking evolutionary psychology thing of like, you get the dude who's like big and strong and can make you give you all the feels and your emotions, but then that guy dies in a war, doesn't come back from the hunt, and then you're stuck with fucking Joe Schmo, who's just like the fucking guy who can at least still keep a fire going and fucking protect you from the bears, but like, you don't really like this guy nearly as much as you did the other dude. And at least the first guy is the one who gets his genetics into the fucking next generation. The other guy maybe gets to enjoy being a stepdad before he dies. Like, couldn't be me. I'm not gonna do that shit. Never. I'd only be a stepdad after I had my own set of children, and just make sure that I get the fucking caveman part of me calm down, being like, yes, we achieved the goal of getting our genetics and our lineage progressing forward into the next generation. Then after that, adopt kids or fucking take on stepkids if I get divorced. God willing, hopefully not, because I don't want to deal with that. And if I do, I'm gonna do the prenup and not fucking let her get half my shit for free. Because I'm not doing that either. Trying to get a Colombian lady, but that's neither here nor there.
They always see only what is near, think only of the present, and are incapable of looking far ahead. Their judgment is like that of a child. It lacks depth and is determined by immediate impressions.
Yeah, that was fucking sick. Nah, I'll be 100% honest. That was a cool edit, but I think people forget that these philosophers do not hate women. They're making generalizations, which is factually correct, right? Does that make sense? There will be outliers, and those outliers will be the exception to the rule. That does not mean every type of woman you meet will be beneath you because they're a little bit less intelligent statistically. But I think a lot of people forget that there is an average narcissism bias. If you look at the stats, ask a driver, the majority of drivers will believe they are better than the others. So when I present the fact that a lot of men could be more intelligent by, genetics, they assume, yeah, I'm the intelligent one. Probably not the one at the very bottom. But, take this information as you will. But here's the truth. That doesn't mean you discriminate against women. That doesn't mean you discriminate against men because they could be more intelligent or they could be dumber. The main idea is these guys were extremely ahead of their time. They don't have studies. A lot of their ideas came from just pure observation and interpretation. But here's the truth. The more we consume and use social media, you're degrading the part of your brain where you are thinking for yourself. I never went or enjoyed philosophy in college, high school. I never liked any of it because everything they taught were things I've already thought of myself. And this is very important because this is also the main philosophy towards the content you watch. The fuck? Do you think I watch YouTube videos about some British guy talking about philosophy? That's dumb as fuck. I'm being so serious. That is the dumbest thing you could possibly do because modern day philosophers no longer exist. You know why they don't exist? Because they're using all the actual teachings and learnings from philosophy in their real life, and they're all of the successful people. Does that make sense? It is a genuine trap to be stuck in this echo chamber of believing you are more intelligent based off of, I know philosophy, I know what altruism is. Oh, do you know how to pronounce Friedrich Nietzsche? I do. You Nietzsche? This guy. And I think it's very important to know that modern day philosophers are the ones that are actually applying the lessons. The fakes and fake intelligent people are the ones who pretend they are smart because they talk about it all the time rather than actually applying and putting themselves in situations where they fail and learn from it and become even smarter. Okay.
Yeah, let me read you the fucking warrior ethos to just kind of hammer in the point. It's not about talking a big game, it's about self-actualizing and being a living example. No, that's the thing. This one. I am a warrior. I do my duty. I serve a cause greater than myself. I am accountable to my community and my family for my actions. I blame no one. Yeah, I think I need to put it at one here. I blame no one. Blame no one for my faults, and I give thanks for my abilities. Put that one right there. Trying to get this lined up the way I like it. There we go. I am governed by natural law, and my mind is my most powerful weapon. I train to oppose evil in all of its forms. I will never quit, retreat, or cower in the face of my enemy. I protect the weak, I assist the elderly, I care for those in need. I strive for perfection, and I ask the same of those who serve me. I lead by example, and I have the highest moral standard. The truth is my constant companion. When the end comes, I will sing my warrior song and go to my reward with honor and dignity. Because this guy, Rambo or whatever, he highlighted, Roger Federer or PewDiePie as examples of modern day philosophers, which is not really accurate, I wouldn't say. Oh, and Tom Brady, there's that weird distinction I feel like I need to draw between, like, yes, those people have achieved a high level of success and are financially extremely financially stable and well off, way better than me or probably anyone watching this video, I'd imagine. But that, like, they're not philosophers. They're successful human beings from the little g game standpoint of, like, they have a fuck ton of money and have achieved great things that make your ego feel holier than thou or superior to all the other people in the world, potentially, if that's how they perceive reality to be. I don't know them personally, obviously. Maybe not yet. Maybe one day I'll meet them. I don't know. But the distinction to be made, and I don't really like Osho or fucking Bikram, but one of those two weird Indian dudes who started those cults said something that was like, poor people can't really go about pursuing the spiritual journey because it, like, or like a spiritual journey is a rich man's fucking game because it, like, requires you to be able to dedicate time and energy. The big G game is what I'm talking about, of, like, contemplating how the creation created itself, what caused the Big Bang, or, like, what's the meaning of your life, and, like, doing the spiritual practices of being able to meditate and, like, connect deeply and gather more self-knowledge and know yourself deeply. Like, that's, to me, that's true philosophy, or, like, true lived philosophy, true embodied philosophy, versus just getting caught up in the rat race or doing things that feed the endless void of your ego that is always trying to do more and be more and wants more and more and more, and that feeding that beast or taming that beast or trying to, like, live with that beast when it's always on your back, fucking your shadow beating you down and, like, making you feel insecure. Like, that's not the end all be all. It's to integrate it and become holistic and see yourself as a mirror or smoky mirror, to use the example of the Toltec tradition of that, like, you are the reflection of everything around you, and the state of the world is only so ridiculous and chaotic because people don't take the personal responsibility to do the inner work, the shadow work, go on the spiritual journey and figure out the true essence of their soul, that they're a soul having a human experience and a human with a soul. And I just, so there's a little bit of definitely a disagreement of, like, those people aren't philosophers in my mind. They're just fucking hyper successful human beings who've achieved a lot in the little g game, but I don't know how far they have actually developed in the big G game of the actual thing of, like, what true altruism in my mind is. That, like, if I had $1 billion, like, I'm not going to keep reinvesting it and spreading it out to try to just keep making more billions of dollars. Like, I'm going to do whatever I need to make sure that that I have a farm or, like, a cycle and a system that, like, sustains my life physically on the earth, and then I'm going to try to figure out ways and investments and people to projects to put the money into to help humanity continue to evolve and grow. And people at the top of the pyramid ain't be doing that shit. They just want to hoard and hold on because their reptilian brain is the one calling the shots. They're either legit psychopaths or have been so indoctrinated, brainwashed, shit like MK Ultra or Project Monarch, that, like, they are created or formed into psychopaths that, like, just are so obsessed with control and dominating and don't care if they harm other people because they don't see themselves. They see themselves as the thing wanting to become God or replace God instead of just realizing that they already are God, because that would require them to love and not be completely soaked and absorbed in fear, because that's love is the ultimate condition or the true, like, fabric of reality that we're all, like, swimming around in this cosmic soup of fucking love and light and beauty. But because you have free will and you can choose to either be a follower of culture or a builder and a true philosopher who does the deep inner philosophical thinking work, you can get stuck in the little G game or eventually wake up and realize and start playing the big G game.
So here's a very clear theme in this video. People pretend to be intelligent by memorization but interpretation and the ability to break it down into fundamentals is extremely important. This is why my videos are not targeted towards philosophy idiots, but people who haven't even been introduced to it. Because if your goal is to teach and leave a real impact, you wouldn't go to those who speak and think like you, but those who have never even considered to do so. Check out my I Show Speed video. Check out my Kanye West video. Kodak Black is a Clash Royale goblin. Who thinks of that? A real philosopher. But yeah, women are cool. I like women. It's just that, yeah, accept the facts, right? Some men could be smarter, but the majority of them are dumber than women. Just realize the difference between median, mode, range. This stuff you get in high school. Man, here's a very clear lesson you need to realize. All of the questions and answers you don't have and you want to desperately know, it's out there. The internet exists. You can find it. But why are you choosing not to find it? Check out the Patreon. Watch my YouTube videos. Maybe it's in there. Like, subscribe. Toodaloo.
Yeah, so that's gonna do it for me. Go check out his shit. The link is in the description if you feel. I'm not probably gonna watch any of those other videos. They don't really speak to me or come up with any interest. I like that he put a little fucking commercial at the end of his own video to fucking promote his own shit. That was fucking genius. I guess maybe I'll do a similar thing right here, right now. This video, I can't remember. There was something I wanted to fucking say or add in of like, oh, actually, yeah. I'll read you a poem that in this video I had said wasn't done, but I finished it today while I was fucking working out at the gym, which is a cute little thing that you should do. It's good for you. It's the fucking symbolicness of like literally crushing yourself under the weight of existence to be able to make yourself stronger in the future and handle more. Don't ask for a lighter load but broader shoulders was a saying thing at the CrossFit gym that I used to go to, but the lady who owns it had to sell it to a different person now, and I used to be able to shower there for free, but now I can't anymore. It's a bummer. So this is a poem called Melancholy Moon. Is it just me, or is the world kind of broken as I look down on those yet unawoken? The rise and fall of both breath and tide, dancing to the circadian rhythm that keeps them alive. Silly people running, walking, and moving like ants, beat down by cultures that tell them they can't be who they are, free, true, and loved by me, the sun, and every single motherfucking star. I didn't write that down, but I just love saying it that way. I weep for their suffering and callous behavior and wonder every night why they wait for a savior. I'm almost saddened to death by such foolish bravado when even wisdom is found in the grounded potato. Every creature down there strives to live to the fullest except the ones who love to throw bullets. Shout out to, I think it's, Pursuit of Happiness by Kid Cudi. That one inspired that line right there. Every creature down there strives to live to the fullest except the ones who love to throw bullets at one another if they're not cut from the same cosmic cloth. Obsessed with instant gratification, man. Move like a sloth. Hey, sure, they might stink to high heaven, but not even rock stars blast their tunes. Not every rock star blasts their tunes on 11. The tranquil and quiet can bristle like a porcupine, but only if you've got a prostrated, banana shape spine. Something, I might have to change that. Supine spine? I don't know. I know the dark and I signal an evening of even-keeled sleep, but no more unquestioning obedience on thy knees. Yeah, these don't, it's, I guess it's not all the way down. I still gotta polish these couple parts. Stand and wake up from the nightmare called normal. We just have to imagine a better way and make it functionally formal. That's my 2 cents fucking on the human condition as it currently is. And this endeavor of YouTube and life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness and all this junk is me living by the warrior ethos, trying to help you help yourself figure out what the fuck is going on in the world, what on earth is happening. Check out Mark Passio's work. He's a huge fucking guy. I'm about to send him a 2 terabyte hard drive to get access to his whole arc of information that he's got about all of the occult things. But I wanted to shout out this potential new friend, buddy Dylan from the Men's Academy. Not Dylan, what the fuck? Shout out to this guy, Devin. This video and the feedback that I've been getting from him and the dudes in the group kind of inspired me to make this video, because I've done reaction stuff on a different channel before, and I think I'm going to sign up for this guy's fucking Patreon course to grow reaction style video content more effectively based on his recommendations, and hopefully he'll audit my channel and give me his 2 cents as a YouTuber with fucking almost 1 million subscribers. Now that I'm done rambling, like, share, comment, subscribe, keep the algorithm satisfied, and if I don't see you while I'm alive, I'll catch you on the flip side after I die. Hajime Mashite, if this is the first time that you've ever stumbled upon my fucking corner, weird niche of the internet, Namasue, have a great day. Slap shoot if it's nighttime soon. And that's it, dude. If you don't know, now you know. Bam.